Hi, my name's Dr. Johnson. I'm the head of physics here at Bablake. Basically, we have three members of staff who teach A-level at the school. Myself, Mr. Spencer, Mr. Hobday. We've all been teaching for a number of years at A-level. What we do with A-level groups usually is that we divide them up between two teachers. So half of the content is taught by one teacher, half the content taught by another teacher. The A-level that we do is AQA, and just to give you a brief idea of the topics that we cover at AS, I've got a list up here which is mostly topics that you would have seen at GCSE, so things like electricity, mechanics, waves, materials. Particles is a little bit different from GCSE. Quantum physics is also a little bit different. So there are some new topics in there, some of the ones that interest people a little bit more as well, in terms of being slightly more unusual. But that's the AS content that we've got in Year 12. In Year 13, we move on to some of the more complicated topics, so things like thermodynamics, gravitational fields, radioactivity. We also, with AQA, have a topic paper as well. So what you'll find is that sometime during the next year, you'll be given a choice about whether you take engineering, medical physics, turning points in physics, and astrophysics. I think three of those really speak for themselves, so you know exactly what they're talking about. Turning points in physics is a module which is to do with big sort of moments in physics where the physics world changed as a result of somebody's particular finding. So a lot of students find that quite interesting, but actually a lot of our engineering students will choose the engineering module. Those people who are interested in medicine will obviously choose the medical physics, and those interested in astro will choose the astrophysics. So that tends to sort of fall quite naturally into place. Basically, there are a number of reasons why you would choose physics at A-level. In fact, probably a number of reasons why you choose a lot of different A-levels. But I've really got sort of four main sort of ideas with this really. So the first one obviously is in terms of career choice. So the obvious ones are things like medicine, engineering, or even just straight physics at university. The second thing is really that if you find physics is one of those subjects that you feel is relatively easy to understand, you grasp the concepts really easily, and you find it easy-ish to answer questions on it, that also might be another reason why you choose it. A third reason might be that it's really just something you enjoy. So there are a whole load of people who really enjoy doing the subject. It's a nice sort of varied subject as well. That a lot of the topics are very, very different from each other. So even if there's one topic that you aren't particularly keen on, there's probably a whole host of other topics that you are keen on as well. The other thing which sort of strikes people as being a little odd sometimes is the fact that physics is one of those subjects where it does open the doors to a number of different professions. So there are lots and lots of lawyers around, for example, who have physics degrees. And you might not sort of think that to start off with. For occupations like law, they really are looking for ability in some very demanding A-level subjects, and physics is definitely regarded in that sort of light. From our point of view, what are we doing on top of the standard physics? So obviously I've mentioned a lot about what we do in the course, but if we just stuck to teaching the course, that wouldn't be that exciting. So we do other things as well. So this year I'm reintroducing the Physics Olympiad to the school. So this is a very, very high level competition, really helpful for Oxbridge candidates who are applying for those types of universities. And also what we're trying to reintroduce, which hopefully will be in place for your particular year group if you join us next year, is a physics trip to CERN. So the Large Hadron Collider over in Geneva, I've taken many trips there before and would be interested in sort of starting this up again. Obviously, that all depends on the sort of situations in terms of travel at the time, but it's been a very, very rewarding trip for a number of students over the last few years. We also do lots of things to do with lectures and presentations. So we quite often get you to talk about things that you are particularly interested in terms of physics. So you basically teach the rest of the group about something in physics that particularly interests you. The other thing is that at the start of this presentation, I told you about the 3 teachers in the department. All of us have done Oxbridge preparation work before. So we've done sessions at lunchtimes with students who are interested in sort of taking on physics or engineering, etc. at university at Cambridge or Oxford. And we've got a lot of experience in the department for training people for those sorts of things. The other thing is quite often asked here, is the A-level difficult? And the answer in a really, really short, nice little one-worder is yes. So it's one of those sorts of subjects that I would recommend very strongly that you don't take unless you are prepared to work really hard. There is a lot of demanding stuff in there. The mathematical demands are fairly high as well, so a good GCSE pass will be really needed to do this course. Also, the other thing just to mention with that is that one of the big steps from GCSE up to A-level from my point of view is the way that you have to apply your understanding. So at GCSE, you can learn things and put them down in an exam paper and get marks for it. At A-level, you have to not only understand it, but you also need to be able to apply it to unusual situations that you've not come across before. That's a much more tricky thing to do, and it's one of those things that you need to practice a lot more at. So it's a difficult subject, but I think a lot of people take it because it is difficult, because they want to really stretch themselves, and I'm pretty sure that at this school we will be stretching you. Thank you.